Hey guys, my name is Bobby Welsh, a senior boarding student from Roanoke, Virginia, and this is Tornado Talk. Today on the podcast, we have a senior day student, and he's been here since 6th grade. We have the Stuco president, a French horn player in various ensembles. He is a multi-talented gentleman, a cross-country and track runner, and he actually I just got word. I mean, I'm sure he's been committed for a while. We just learned that he is going to Davidson to continue his running career. Today we have Harry Carter.
Thank you.
Harry, how you doing? How was the meet yesterday?
It went really well. We won by 200 points or so.
Holy smokes! How much is that? Can you tell the folks at home what those margins look like? Because we hear all these margins in chapel. They're coming up and they're like, oh, we won by 120 points. What does that mean?
Yeah, so each event, like the person or relay team that wins gets 10 points. So,
okay.
And then it goes like 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or something. So
Okay.
winning by 200 is like,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. That's wild. Wow. And who was the runner-up yesterday?
I think it was Baylor in the end.
Okay. But by 200 points.
Yeah, or maybe 150,
yeah,
but
something like that, along those lines. Cool. That's super cool. I saw him running. I mean, it started in the afternoon. I saw people still there at like 9:30.
Yeah.
Is that normally how long track meets go?
Yeah, this one was kind of an open meet, more of a chill meet. So it was definitely a little bit longer, but yeah, they go on for a long time.
Yeah. Can you tell me about the differences that you see in? Well, hold on. Let me restart. Can you tell me about cross country versus track in your personal experience? What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy one over the other?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love them both. Cross country, probably a little less. Okay. I don't know. Just running 5K is a lot harder than running half a mile.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference.
I feel like there's a bunch of camaraderie that's associated with track too, just like hanging out. And
definitely.
Seems cool.
You're hanging out a lot more, just kind of sitting around waiting for your events.
Absolutely. But I see you guys running around campus or early or in the battlefield, and you guys kind of seem like you're hanging out. It's a very my conversational pace is much slower than your guys' conversational pace. Which is I mean speaks to your guys' talent as runners. So normally we start off with a game, and guys, we were so elated when Harry said, I've listened to every single Tornado Talk podcast episode, and we've only had a few of these. These are the diamonds in the rough, guys. These are the good ones. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we'll start off with a game called Quickfire. I know that you know how it's played, so we'll start with best brand of clothing.
Nike.
If you could learn any language, what would it be?
French.
Go-to pre-race snack.
Ooh, like a granola bar, but like one of the like chocolate, what do they call it? Cliff bar.
Best pizza topping.
Oh, pineapple.
Cool. Okay. I feel like that was just to like spice things up, but maybe. Nah, I'm just kidding. So moving over to some serious questions. We know your mom's from England.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like, and how has that shaped your growing up?
Yeah. So we have always lived where I live. Like we've lived on the same farm my whole life.
Which is where?
It's in Jasper, Tennessee, which is just 30 miles west of here,
Okay.
Towards Nashville.
Cool.
But every summer growing up, like all my mom's family still lived, like my grandparents, she has two brothers.
Yeah.
And they have families themselves and more extended family. They all still live over there. So me growing up, I would every summer go with my mom over there to visit my 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And then so like my grandmother would come here at the beginning of the summers, and then like I would go back with just her. And I don't know. They live. It's the town they live in. Well, it's called Hill Head, and it's right on the south coast of England. About 2 hours from London.
Okay.
Right on the water. It's super cool. It was where the boats left for Normandy. on D-Day.
Oh, that is
right across the water is the Isle of Wight, where actually one of my uncles live. He's like a DJ.
That's insane.
And runs a music festival. I actually worked there this past. It's called Camp Festival. Look it up.
It's pretty awesome. So sick. The Isle of Wight is part of what country?
It's part of England.
It's part
also.
of England. It's part
of
and
England. It's only like a mile off the coast. Okay. So it's just right across the water. You have to take a ferry over there. There's no bridge or anything. But that's where they live, and
that is so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool place to be for sure.
That is so cool. I feel like when I think about England and correct so I want you to correct me. So when I think about England, I think about like the big cities, and then I think about like small cottages out in the village, out in the countryside. What does that kind of scape look like at your grandmother's house? Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they think of like London, and that's a lot of people get like London and England kind of mixed together in their brains, 100%. Which London it's just the one big city. It's massive and insane. But then there is a lot of places that are like what you think of, like the cottage kind of rural, rolling hills kind of thing. Where my family is, it's a little more like, I don't know, it's kind of like beach town, but rainy and cold.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It is pretty rainy and cold. Yeah. It wouldn't be. There's definitely no like Pensacola, Florida.
No, the beaches are like all rocks, and it's like it's a very different vibe. Absolutely.
But touristy nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's so cool. So moving on to Macaulay. So you've been here since 6th grade. Why'd you come to Macaulay at such a young age?
Yeah. So I have a brother, Ollie Carter, who graduated last year. Yeah. He came for 6th grade, and for him, so I really was just following him. Like wherever he went, I was going to be going. Yeah. But he was in between Baylor and Macaulay. And he was pretty much like, he was planning on going to Baylor.
Okay.
But like, my parents just really liked the idea of all boys, like learning in an all boys environment. Yeah. And I think that kind of, just sent us here, and, haven't looked back.
Absolutely.
It's been awesome.
So let's move to Stuco. Cause I feel like the name Harry Carter is synonymous with a lot of things. One of them is Stuco. Can you tell me what Stuco is, and tell them what Stuco is? And then tell me about your favorite thing that you get to do as the president, right, of Stuco.
Yeah. So Student Council, it's an organization that's, all grades, 9th through 12th. And we organize school activities, events. Like you'll see us in the quad doing some things. Like earlier this week, we did like a bobbing for apples thing.
Yep, I participated.
There we go.
Yep.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I did. And oh my gosh, guys were out there like putting their whole chest in.
Oh yeah, I saw videos of it.
I was pretty graceful. I admire my apple bobbing skills, and I just got my hair wet, got my apple, and left.
No sweat. Good work, Bobby. Yeah, and so we do things like that, and then we also have like the student councils, semi-formal, and my personal favorite, the silent disco.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man, love the silent disco so much. I got to DJ for the silent disco this year. Cool. We had decorated it all up, and DJing for it, man, so much fun.
That is so cool.
When Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, I played that one. Oh man, had the whole crowd going. It was absolutely wonderful.
Now, I have been to a silent disco. I've been to one of the silent discos before, but I can't get over my self-consciousness for what I might sound like singing. And you DJ'd, and so I'd assume that there was some bits where you had your headphones off. What does it sound like inside a silent disco?
It's pretty funny. For sure.
It's gotta be hilarious.
Especially for songs where, I don't know, it's like a little bit harder to tell what the words are. You just kind of, or like people don't know the words.
Oh no.
You can tell so much. But you can, I'm pretty convinced if you went to a silent disco without headphones, you could still have a great time because you know what's playing.
Yeah.
Like just people singing it.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely funny.
Do you have any videos inside there, or is it a judgment-free video-free zone?
Okay. I took some videos.
Okay. That's so funny. So what has being, and so I know you're the president, and there's a lot of delegation and organizing people and a lot of stuff that goes on there. It's not just like we just slap some ideas together and here they are. What have you learned from managing people and that whole Stuco experience in general? Because I know you've been a part of Stuco for a while, right? Okay.
Yeah, since 9th grade I've been on it, but I don't know, being president, it's just a lot of like consistent work. Like, luckily I have Nelson Eiselstein, he's the new like faculty representative for it, and he's just
he's
so good at his job.
He is
especially now as the Stuco guy, and like we're kind of communicating daily.
Wow.
So
that's what we need. That's what Macaulay needs.
Yeah,
100%.
like we almost don't have like a choice but to communicate daily because there's just so much going on all the time.
Yeah.
And luckily he and I have a good relationship. So I've definitely learned, good communication for sure. It's definitely been great. Like kind of building that relationship with him.
Absolutely. 100%.
Cause like he and I are so close now. Like I will go to him with so much stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the communication piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This has been a strong year for Stuco. As a civilian, I have had a ball just participating in the impromptu events that have been going around. The viewers who might not know, we've got like the quadrangle and the greenway where we walk to class in between the dining hall and classes, and Stuco is always out there. They had like apple bobbing or like a basketball hoop out there or like cornhole for donuts. It's just, there's always something going on, which is just so special. And I feel like that is just another thing about Macaulay that is very, very hard to find in another spot.
With all those things, like Nelson originally brought those up and was like, how can we bring to the student body, just make each day a little bit better, like with just a little bit, like something that shakes it up a little bit. Like we try and place a lot of these things kind of like, like the apple bobbing thing, like AP exams start next week. It's like kind of in the middle of this long stretch, just something that's just like, kind of switches up your day and maybe brings you just a little bit of joy.
Absolutely.
And that was just kind of the goal, just improve each day a little bit for everybody.
And there's also something where you guys have been hiding a statue of the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
And with the Double O initiative, which is where we've volunteered to not be on Instagram and TikTok as much. We didn't have as much access to that information. But is he still hidden? Is the statue still hidden?
Taz isn't hidden right now.
Okay.
He was found from his last spot. I've been shocked by how fast people
for real. Like
people have skipped some classes. And gone looking for hours. For this thing. I was like, good Lord.
Were the spots good though?
I don't know. I actually didn't know where some of them were.
Okay.
But I thought they were pretty, hiding them in the lockers, like behind Jersey's office.
Oh, okay.
And I thought surely that'll take people a little bit, but no, within, I don't know,
that's
2-3 hours it was found.
That's crazy.
It's impressive.
So moving over to band, talk to me about the French horn and when that started for you.
Yeah. So in 6th grade, you pick one of the arts to do one semester. And so I picked band. My grandpa in England, he plays a trombone. He's in a band. So that side of the family is pretty musical. My mom played the clarinet too. And so I was interested in doing it. And then we tried all the instruments, and I heard James on his podcast talked about that. And I just ended up picking the French horn, and I love it. And I don't know, especially being part of the band, the community.
Yes.
One thing is playing music, which I enjoy that, but I couldn't do it on my own. Solo work, I've done some of it, but I'd much rather the band piece, coming together in class and making a piece of music together. And I loved it in 6th grade, and I haven't taken off a semester since. I've done everything I can. I joined pep band as an 8th grader as soon as I could, and I joined honors orchestra as an 8th grader as soon as I could. And I did like Chattanooga Youth Symphony for 2 years. Because I really enjoy making music with other people, and it's really, and then it's opened up a lot of doors for me, and it's been really, really awesome.
Cool. So that's a lot of exposure through those various ensembles, and I feel like I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it might be a little bit harder to find a community like that at college unless you're actively involved in a major or you're trying to pursue that. How do you think that's going to look for you?
I'm not fully sure, because if you're not majoring it, like majoring in music is such a huge commitment. Like I love music, but
so is running too. That's a huge commitment too. Sorry.
We'll see how that goes. But music, I know, like I talked at Davidson, I've talked to the people in the music program before, and like it's a small program for sure, but there are people that are very invested in it and love it. And also in a place like David, in a lot of these places, like they have community bands, like, you know, so I could like join the Davidson community band where, you know, just a bunch of old retired people that still want to play in a band, and I think that would still just be super fun.
Absolutely.
Because I kind of like the low key, like I've done all the kind of high intensity stuff, but the kind of low key stuff is just as fun for me.
Yeah, and I feel like that the college has a lot of that. Like they've got, like just with sports too, they've got like club level and this and that and intramural and whatever. That's cool. That's super cool. And I feel like that community would be just a whole new horizon. That'd be so cool. So cross country and track. When have you played? What other sports have you played? And when did you begin to focus on running?
Yeah. So growing up, my family is a super like sports centered family. Like my dad played everything growing up, but baseball in high school. He's a rugby player. He's a rugby coach now too.
Those are tough. They're tough as nails. Holy smokes.
And my mom was a rower. She played field hockey in high school, and she actually rode for the Welsh national team.
Wow.
And was second in the entire United Kingdom on the erg for women. Which, like,
holy smokes,
I never knew that for the longest time. Yeah. And she was like this stud at rowing.
Dude, that's just like some the parent lore, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Drop, like you drive in the grocery store on like a Saturday morning, and they're just like, I did this. What?
You're right. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And that my dad and mom actually met whenever my dad was on a rugby tour in Wales, and my mom was working as like a physical therapist trainer for a rugby club there. And so that's how they met.
Crazy.
So, you know, sports kind of everywhere. And then, so me and my brother growing up played everything, a lot of baseball, but, you know, soccer, tennis, basketball,
certainly
a little bit of everything. I didn't know cross country existed until my brother came in 6th grade and he did cross country. And then like I very much remember going to one of his races and like seeing the finish, and like everyone was suffering, but like, I don't know, that like I was just like got all this adrenaline from watching the end of this like middle school cross country race. And so I'm doing this whenever I get in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I did cross country through middle school, but I never did track. I did soccer and swimming. But then in high school, after fall cross country, I decided to just go all in on running. And then, so I've done cross country and track year round for high school.
Okay. Now, what do the summers look like for you? Is that filled with personal training? Is there any communication with the coaches?
Yeah, about training? Is. Usually we'll take, you know, after the track season, we'll take, you know, maybe 2 weeks off. But then, Coach Stoker will send us a weekly workout plan for the rest of the summer. And they'll meet, like, because a lot of guys do sports camp. Coach Stoker's in charge of sports
Absolutely.
camp, and a bunch of cross country guys do sports camp.
Interesting. Okay.
And so they'll like run together some days, and anyone can come and run with them. But it's mostly on our own. But we still train for the whole summer.
Certainly, especially if you're going to college and taking it seriously. And I know Stoker. So I have Strava because I ride my bike, and I see Stoker on there just absolutely killing it.
He is insane.
Can you tell me about, one, what it's like to run with him, and two, whether I feel like, I mean, he'd be a good guy to stay in contact with, about being coached, and I don't know. I feel like he'd be a good contact to have in your phone. So tell me about that.
Coach Stoker, I only just recently fully decided that I was gonna run in college. I was kind of leaning towards not, and a big part of that was just there's no way I'm ever gonna be coached by someone greater than Coach Stoker.
Wow.
Because he himself could school any of us. Yeah. In a maybe 100%. Maybe not Jack Bowen could probably have him in a 5K now. Yeah. But he runs his marathon PR is 2 hours 27, which is just over 5 minutes per mile for 26 miles.
Smokes.
And that was 2 years ago, at age 45 or something.
Yeah.
So he himself is a great runner, which are automatically gives us this credibility.
Yeah. And respect for sure.
Yeah. And then he would run with us every day. He's been injured this whole year, so he hasn't been able to run with us as much. But he has always run with us every day. Yeah. And he has specific runs for specific groups of people, every single day. He definitely, and he plans out his workouts months ahead for different groups of people. Yeah. He's just so committed to it, and invests in every single one of his runners from the top down. And really cares. That's why I think if our cross country team for the past 2 years, especially even more than that, if there was a meet where you could score 14 people, I don't think any team in the country would beat us, because our JV guys are invested in by our coaching staff just as much as anyone else. Yeah. And so everyone is just so good, which is a great environment to be a part of.
I feel like sometimes the JV guys, the less talented guys, can slip through the cracks, and that's incredible. Definitely. And you say that with such confidence, and I 100% believe you, and I know everybody else does, because we hear about all the accolades that the cross country team receives, and that is just incredible. And of course, Coach Stoker is does so well, because he just, from the outside looking in, he's got it going on.
Yeah, definitely does.
And of course, it requires you guys to buy in, but it helps when you're being coached by someone like that. What does the rest of the year look like? We've got guys. Sad note. I've got 8 days of school. Well, Harry and I, we're both seniors. We got 8 days of school left. Unfortunately, but what does the rest of the track season look like for you?
So last night was our last home meet. It was the last kind of regular season meet. So most guys will be done now.
Okay.
But next week is the region meet, where only certain guys can run. And that through the region meet, you can qualify for state, which is 2 weeks after that. So that'll be the very end of May.
That's into the summer. Yeah. Okay.
And we're going for the state championship this year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I think the 4x800 team, we're talking about going to either Oregon or Philadelphia to race a national meet in the postseason, in June. So we still got a good bit of track left.
Yeah, absolutely. Who is that? Who is in that 4x800 team?
It's me, Henry Edwards, Jack Bowen, and Evan Simpson.
Yeah, God Squad. That's incredible. Nice, dude. And who would you go with? Who would go with you? Stoker or Nelly?
Yeah, they all went to Nike Indoor with us in New York. Okay. Yeah, and I think they would go with us if we went to. We could also just go on our own, but probably those coaches would go with us.
Okay. So talk to me about getting back to like the racing, do you have any pre-race rituals that you do?
Pre-race, I don't know. I try and like keep myself away from like the superstition stuff because like I'm afraid I would just psych myself out with that.
Absolutely.
But like, I don't know, our warm up and everything always looks pretty much the same.
Okay.
So I guess that's kind of a ritual. But nothing like, I try like intentionally try and not have any other rituals other than that.
Talking about seeing you guys out running and having a conversation while you're running so fast. Do you ever listen to music while you run? I mean, alone or do you ever do that?
I do. Like if I'm in the summers and stuff, if I'm running on my own, I'll listen to music or I'll listen to Tornado Talk.
Let's go.
But most guys, like, I don't know, it seems like most guys don't. Like on our team, there's just something about like dialing in on the run, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know. Okay. I like a little bit of music if I'm on my own.
Absolutely. Huh. Yeah, I feel like that I do that too, but like when I'm riding my bike, but I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit dangerous on the side on the road. Like I don't know. Like I only keep one in just in case.
Yeah.
But so Harry, thank you so much. We're gonna end with a game called Guess That Teacher, and you know how that's played.
Oh yeah.
So first fact. 1, this person is an identical twin. 2, he is currently reading the Oppenheimer biography, American Prometheus. 3, they just bought tickets to see Widespread Panic open for the Rolling Stones. 4, they have lived and taught in every American time zone. If you need me to run back through them again, I can.
The identical twin thing got me thinking of Coach Stoker.
Oh, he is. He's an identical twin.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know about the other stuff. It doesn't quite sound like Coach Stoker. But who else has an identical twin? Gosh. Can you run through the other
absolutely.
One?
They are currently reading the Oppenheimer biography, American Prometheus. They just bought tickets to see Widespread Panic open for the Rolling Stones, and they have lived and taught in every American time zone. Bit of an adventurous type.
Yeah. Identical twin. Am I going to be shocked by like who this is? Or
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Is it Coach Stoker?
No, it's not Coach Stoker. One more. They are male.
They are male. Okay. Identical twin.
I didn't know that this person was an identical twin. I'd love to see their twin because that would be funny.
Can I get like their department?
History.
What?
That's what the Oppenheimer. I think that's what he was trying to say with the Oppenheimer biography.
Yeah. Gosh, history teachers that would read Oppenheimer. I'm gonna go Chapin.
Nah.
Dang it.
Dr. Ritchie. Dr. Ritchie is an identical twin.
I did know he was an identical twin.
And he bought. I feel like he's definitely a music guy. Like everybody knows. Like
no, I should have had that one.
Deadhead. I fumbled. Everything. Is he a cross country?
Yeah,
guy?
he is.
Okay. But I didn't realize he lived and taught in every American time zone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I should have had that one. That's cool.
I'm like always like reaching out to people for facts and stuff, and it's so funny to see how fast they give them. Like it was okay. It was like kind of late last night, and like he texted me back within 3 minutes with like all these facts, and I was like, oh, holy smokes, that's crazy. But anyway, you know how we end it, Harry. Thank you so much for coming on. What is a piece of advice that you would give an incoming Macaulay student?
Yeah, it has to be, just be kind to everyone around you. Like I've found through my experience, like, I don't know, just whenever you're kind to someone else, they will reciprocate with their own kindness. And that just benefits the well-being of everyone involved. And I don't know, especially in a community like McCallie, where you're like kind of with the best of the best, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're the kind of people that will appreciate you being kind to them and then be kind themselves back 100%. To you. And that'd make us all better if we're just intentional about being kind to everyone all the time. That's my advice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Harry, thank you so much for coming on. This was a great time. I know it was early, so I appreciate you making the trek. How long of a drive is it from Jasper?
It's 30 miles, so it's like a long way, but it's all on the interstate, so it takes, 35, 40 minutes with no traffic, so it's not terrible.
Can you tell me about what you listened to this morning on the way over to school?
I was finishing the Mr. Thornton podcast.
Let's go.
And then I was listening to an audiobook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually forgot what it's called.
Okay.
By Frederick Bachman.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wait, is it Beartown?
It's the sequel to that. Sequel to Beartown.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, one class is reading Beartown. I read Beartown. It is such a good book.
Yeah, it's the sequel to Beartown.
Okay, we're going to go on all day. Okay. Harry, thank you so much for coming on. And guys, yet again, if you're not watching the YouTube, you are absolutely missing out. You're missing out on Harry and his bow tie and both of our gorgeous faces. So, guys, let's lock in and let's tune in to the YouTube, not just on Spotify or Apple Music, but you can find us wherever you find your podcasts. And thank you to the guys working on the Instagram so hard. And we've only got a few left, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, see ya.